Once again, another solid welcome into another episode of Coach E Game for All Seasons, brought to you by Perfect Time Fitness with your boy Coach E, local neighborhood high school football coach, strength coach, Twinsburg High School football program, local neighborhood high school basketball coach, local neighborhood high school track coach, also most importantly, co-CEO El Presidente at Perfect Time Fitness and meal prep head trainer at Perfect Time Fitness. It is time for you guys to download this podcast every episode, plus this episode. It comes out every Friday. So you should be hitting that download button wherever you get your podcast from. And then you go over to YouTube, type in Coach E, Game for All Seasons. Go ahead and look at every single piece of criteria and criteria content that we have up there. Email the show if you want to get active with us at Gmail. Game for all seasons at gmail.com. My bad, y'all. Game for all seasons at gmail.com. We do have three assistant coaches that assist with this thing. On the left hand side, we got Zen. Welcome home, Zen.
What's going on, man? Hey, I got a quick story. So, yesterday was Pop's birthday, so we went and caught the Guardians, played the Dodgers, right? And I'm sitting there watching, and I'm like, dang. I was seeing them go through their lineup. I was like, I remember when we used to have bats like that. They pull out Otani. Otani smoked the first pitch for a homer. I'm like, ooh, I remember them days. Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez. I'm just, and it's going on and on. I'm like, dang, I remember them days, man. And I'm looking out with the little bad news bears. We running out there, man, trying their hardest. And I'm like, knowing it ain't gonna be enough. I'm like, will we ever get back to them days? That's all I wonder, man. But that's all I had to share with y'all fellas. But what's good, man?
Back when we had Manny Ramirez batting in like the 7th spot.
Exactly, man.
That was like Manny in the 7th spot. Crazy.
But no, what's good is you said it was Pop's birthday. Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah,
birthday, Pops. Happy birthday.
Just, like, gloss over that, guys.
Right. Evan about to sing. Go ahead, E. Sing us a verse of the birthday song.
No, I want the Stevie Wonder version. Go ahead.
That's the annual black version right there. Stevie. Whenever Stevie's involved, it's black. It's a black version. In the middle, we got the man down south. Ricky Parisi. Maverick. What up, though?
What's up? I had to bust out my original Befford, Kelly Green, the original Befford color. Man, shoot.
They don't know nothing
speaking
about that,
of, no, they don't, man. They don't. Ain't it forest or something now?
Man, they done changed about 2-3 times since we've been gone, though. I think it ain't forest because the forest is kind of darker.
It's faded green.
Right. No, for real. That's what it looked like.
Speaking of special occasions, me and my wife, we just celebrated 18 years yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
New leader of the marriage council. 18.
Yeah.
Damn. Are you still smiling? My goodness.
Oh, damn. Yes.
Oh, man. That's my hero.
But we're supposed to go on a trip. We're supposed to be on a family vacay up in Mexico, but wife had a impromptu surgery, so she got her gallbladder removed. So we just getting back from the hospital with that, man, and dealing with these kids, man. Just trying to. I'll let you finish the introductions first. Then we could circle back to that one, man. We can circle back to that one.
Yeah,
no doubt. But since you did bring up the old school, I just left the graduation today, man. This was the last class that I seen go from freshman all the way to senior. So I told them I'll come to the graduation, man. That is the last graduation in Bedford I will be attending until my nephew graduates. So don't nobody ask me to go no more. That's it. That was my last hoorah in the green and white or whatever you want to call it. On the far right-hand side, we got another member of the Light Skin Nation. It is B Snizzle Bizzle. What up, Taboo Bizzle?
What's up, East Girl? Before I tell these people who I am, they found the real Kanye. Did y'all see that online? That boy has been lobotomized, tossed to the side of the road. The clone is rolling the show, but that's all right. Y'all get into that. Anyway, man, I got a quiz for y'all. What is rule 4 in the NBA rule book? Can anybody tell me what rule number 4 in the NBA rule book is? If you don't know, I will tell you.
What?
Please enlighten us.
If a player should simultaneously touch the ball with 2 hands, it is a violation of the rule known as a double dribble. I'm going to have to correct myself. I might have the wrong paper champ. The script might be written for Indiana. Because again, with all of this technology, how the hell do they keep missing these important calls? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to YouTube. See Halliburton before he hits the game tying shot as he double dribbles clearly in the lane before he runs back out. Go take a look. He touches the ball like this, drops it like, oh shit, I doubled, but nobody calling it. So he runs back, hits the shot. We know what happens. But just tell me, why we keep reliving this? They keep cheating. They never beat the Cavs. They up 3-2. They'll never finish that series. And then New York, you see what's going on. Tell me what the hell is going on. But it's not your boy, but your favorite grown-ass man, Mr. Taboo Timmons. And I'm on to this NBA with these paper champs, these yellow bumblebees. They just making all the cheating for them. They cheating ass Pacers. Man, what's good, fellas, though? I just had to bring that to y'all attention. What's good, though?
They cheat for they cheat for the Cavs too?
Yeah, but that was a non-significant game. That was a record.
Did you see the video? The clip? Okay, yeah.
I saw the clip, but this wasn't no playoffs on the line. I mean, they did it now a couple series. We missed calls for everybody. These is playoff games. We got replay. We got a replay center. We got staff to get paid to review replay. And they can't catch this till after the fact. I mean, come on, Rick.
For the fans. So the clip that I'm talking about, I sent to the fellas. It was when Mitchell had a 71-point game. I think it was before regulation ended. He shoots a free throw and crosses the line before it hits the basket, catches it, and then throws it in. I think it either tied or something to send us into OT.
Yeah, like tied, yep.
Yeah. But at that point, he only had like 53 points or something like that. I forgot what the number was, but it was nowhere near to the 71. Fast forward to the Indiana karma moment where Halliburton crosses the line before it hits the rim. And what do we happen to lose on? His putback. So that was the NBA making it right, I guess, Or
the NBA in a playoff game.
Follow through on the script.
Follow through on the script with this paper champ. I thought it was New York. My fault, New York. It ain't y'all. It's these paper champ yellow bums, these yellow bellies, man. They just writing the script from them, just ignoring the rule books. You got people who pay salary it is to replay. People who bought. I mean, they install cameras. They got timeouts, everything. But I ain't gonna harp on that, man. Y'all know what it is.
You got one job.
One job. Just one. And you looking like Evan on the replay. You see how he was looking like, what's going on here?
I'm just waiting for him to let it go, Zen. When is he going to let it go? It's over.
When they stop cheating, that's when I'm going to let it go. When they play some basketball, stop cheating. Oh, these game finalizing, deciding shots. This is ridiculous.
You know when they going to let it go? When Evan Mobley gets tough. Me and Zen was just talking about this. Neesmith sprained his ankle last night. Well, the other night, last game. Got right back in the game. And he playing today. Evan Mobley, nope, game off. Soft. S-O-F.
That's good. This is prison ball. I see this ball on Woodland, 30th and Woodland. They just running into each other. Like, they ain't running no plays. Everybody just running into colliding each other, man. This basketball is strange. As close as to college it is. It's unorganized. It's awful. It's terrible.
Please.
But more exciting than that OKC trash. So, my fault. It's more exciting than OKC trash. Oh, my God. Go ahead, man. Don't get me going. We had this whole podcast about me complaining about this rigged up paper champ NBA playoffs. If y'all want to do that, I'm down. What's up?
I want to hear Rick's situation with the cheerings. So fill us in, Rick. You was getting to the story, then we had to finish the intros. Now we throwing it back to you. What's good, brother?
All right. So we come home and wife was gone all day yesterday. She stayed in the hospital last night, had the surgery around 1, 2 o'clock today. Really didn't get really got discharged at like an hour ago, maybe. So we get home and walk through the door. The baby, the youngest, she 9, she happy to see mama. She run outside, talking to her coming in. We get in the house, my wife do a couple things. She walks back in the room, comes back out, and she like, Dad, the other day ain't even come downstairs to see me. So I go upstairs and I'm like, hey man, your mother who gave birth to both of y'all, who just had surgery like 2 hours, 3 hours ago, is home now. I suggest y'all go down and say something. And then my daughter, I was, and my son's just sitting there looking like, and I just stood there looking like, and then they both get up and go downstairs. It's just that very like a whatever type attitude, man. I'm like, yo, like, where is this coming from? Like, am I raising this? Like, is this, my kids? Is this a universal thing? Like, I understand teenagers are very self-centered, but like, it ran me hot, man. I was, so they gonna feel it after the pod, after we get done. I don't care what time it is, but so that ran me
Rick,
hot, man.
coming from where I'm from and experiencing the teenage life like you, teenage kids are stupid.
Yeah.
I hope I don't offend you by saying that, but they're stupid. They're so caught up in their own world, they don't realize that it's a world outside of theirs. So whatever goes on in they bubble, they take it for the truth and nothing else matters. And like, why ain't my mama come up here and say nothing to me? She home. All right. I'm in my room. She know where I'm
Right.
at. That's literally how they feel. So I just came to the conclusion all teenagers are dumb and don't care about nothing but they shit. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it a step further. I'm gonna say teenagers, young adults, people who don't realize the significance of mom, mortality, all above. Like, I haven't lost, but close friends that have, and you see my girlfriend, my wife, girlfriend, goddamn, my wife, edit that out. My wife, with that situation,
Oh, so I'm
you
your girlfriend now.
impersonations. Oh no. First they find Kanye and Nazi doing impersonations. Oh damn. But no, man, it's just people don't get it. A lot of people don't get it till it's not available anymore, unfortunately, unless somebody can pull their coattails and say, hey, yo, enjoy mom. Mom's just went through a deal, could have went either way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I still gotta tell my brother that. You know what I mean? My brother, he he do his thing. I'm like, yo, what you doing? Mommy go through surgeries or whatever. And it's like, look, take time out your busy day. You know what I mean? Because it ain't gonna be like that forever. She ain't gonna be here forever. You know what I mean? If everything is in the right order. So I'll just be like, man. So yeah, in your talking to, hopefully they can get that, and I'm sure you're gonna deliver something. Maybe not as nice, but something to that extent.
Well, and I think now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I have to be, to Ev's point, they're stupid. It's a teaching moment. I got to look at it like that. I
Right.
got to coach them, because if I go
Because
in
they
there
don't
guns
know.
Absolutely.
blazing, yeah, they're gonna be very defensive. Very,
Yep.
it's not going. It ain't gonna land the way I want it to. But like, it was just a knee jerk, because their great grandmother passed. Now I'm gonna give some grace, especially with my son. I'm gonna say, because when his great grandmother passed, like, we saw her like the night before she started to go down, where she couldn't speak anymore, where she was just like, and like we were the last people to really see her be herself. So maybe that had a little, because he didn't want to go to the hospital, so maybe I seek to understand first. Now I'm stepping back, and I'm glad I'm talking to y'all about this before I go, listen.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'm gonna go seek to understand first, because I let them know it's foreign to me. But like you said, I'm 44 years old. I've had death. I've seen, my grandfather. I went back to college and my grandfather passed, and I didn't even get to say goodbye to him. Like, so I
Mhm.
remember stuff like that. He 14, only really lost his great grandmother, and that kind of bothered him. So maybe his mom being in that moment shook him up a little bit. He didn't want to see that, so because she was in pain, so it looked very uncomfortable for her. But
Mhm.
all right, I'm gonna seek to understand.
There you go.
Hey,
All right.
well, you better than me because I would have went in guns a blazing, set the tone, but then had a teaching moment after the guns got done blazing because I still got a
Yeah.
point to prove. That's some
Yeah.
bullshit. Y'all didn't go down there. It took me to come up here and say this, and then y'all still didn't urgently go do it. So yeah, I would have had to have guns a blazing, then taught after that. You know what I'm saying? But hey,
Yeah.
maybe you needed this to calm you down. You right? Maybe you
Mhm.
needed this moment to woo-sigh. You know what I
Yep.
mean? But you
You
better
wanted
than
to
me.
sink
Give them
though,
that
man.
grace, boy.
You wanted
Yeah.
to sink because some kids, man, you think they understand like we understood. You know what I mean? They don't get it.
Don't.
Like you said, and then when you tell them in a certain way, you want it to hit so that they can get it for even after we gone, even after you gone.
Yeah.
So it's not, and they can pass that down. So if you hit too hard, then now these kids they shut down. Like to me, they just shut all the way down.
That
They
part.
they gone. They get that blank stare, and then it's just like they just stuck. Syntax error I call it. So you wanted to hit, and then they be like, man, I don't know, what's the big deal? Like that's how they thinking about it right now. Like could be, like oh, it was routine. She went to the doctor. Why dad tripping? It's just like y'all going to the grocery store, and we know it's different.
Yeah.
We
for
know
real.
it's different, but they don't. I once had to
Yeah.
tell one of my kids how to leather. That's something nobody told me. But I had to literally
Yeah.
go, and he was like, "What?" They was like, "What you mean? What's lather?"
Like,
You got a boy. That's why.
You know what I'm
hey,
saying? Like, what is this mysterious lather you speak of? I'm like, oh.
Zed, them boys do. My son, he was up in the shower one time, just laying in the shower with the water, with the nozzle spraying on him, just laying in the shower like he taking a bath. I'm like, dog, what is you doing? Dog? Like,
What's happening?
if you want to take a bath, fill the tub up, bro. Like, what's really going on right now?
see,
And then, like you said, when I asked, he like, what was you thinking? I don't know. just I don't know.
It felt right.
Yeah, and he really don't know. Like that's oh man,
Just dumb, man. Just dumb.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you think that was a good idea? Not only do you look dumb,
I'll
the
never
principle
forget
behind
that.
it is dumb.
Right. Come on, like you did something too. I'll be like, wait a minute, come here, let me smell you. Like, what did you use soap? Like, yeah, I put a
Yeah,
little
like-
body wash on. I was like, what you mean? Like, did you,
A little.
lather it? Did you get it frothy and soapy? What you mean? How do I do that? I was like, okay, lather. Like, what is this? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Like, did you
man.
shower? Yeah. Let me smell your feet. Go take a shower. No, you did. No, you
Or
did.
just let me see the bottom of your feet because them joints
Yeah.
still be black as hell. Like,
Oh
Yes.
man.
you're in the shower, you're stepping in water, so that should wipe some of this dirt off. But you didn't do nothing. Take your ass back up there and wash your ass, boy.
Gotta teach him. Gotta teach him.
Oh man. All right. Now, E, did you have something? I know we kind of did this impromptu.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Well, B,
What up?
B, you got a nice response via email from your favorite guy, your favorite listener. You know, he rebutted back to you because he don't know what you was talking about, basically, is what
No.
he's saying in this here email.
Really? So I
Uncle
got
Deuce?
the drunk version. My fault. Drunk. You dudes, you was drunk. You was talking to me. Okay. You got real dudes, or vice versa. Maybe he was drunk talking to you. What do you say?
So the email literally says, Mr. Taboo Timmons is a misquoter. My question was not how do we get better. This was Coach E's question.
Misquoter.
Yeah, misquoter. It was framed as how do we get better as far as overall as a people. I think you all are doing a great job furthering these conversations through the podcast. As individuals, Coach E is absolutely correct. You have to just do it. There's no other way. But as people, quotations, black people, how do we do better? This is a very layered question and has many parts. My example of voting was tied to the bigger overall issue of resources, education, and access. It would be nice to have healthy food options within our neighborhoods, nice recreation facilities, nutrition, education, et cetera, et cetera. The main conversation I had with Mr. Taboo Timmons was about generational wealth and the importance of health as far as life insurance is concerned. This again comes back to education in our community and having those conversations about not only physical health, but mental, financial, and spiritual. They all go hand in hand. I applaud the podcast for continuing to have these very important conversations. It is much needed. Big dudes. So, Mr. Misquoter, you want to get your story correct next time when it comes to Mr. Dudes? Sound like he gonna come through email and whoop your ass, man.
Well, that's good. And I'll do it again as long as I get somebody to email the damn show. If that's what I got to do, I'll do it again. So thank you, Rob, a.k.a. Big Dudes. Thank you.
So, Rick, you got a nice, extensive background, man. What do you think about the financial generational wealth through the life insurance? You think that's a good idea for our people to adopt?
Yes, it works, and I've talked with people about it. I've seen it. We've had to put some things in place with our kids, with trust and things like that, because of the way we have things set up. The problem is, I'll say problem, but one of the, I guess, things that hurts black families from getting to that point is just the monthly income, like monthly liquid income, like being able to monthly cash flow, so to say, to have that line item added to your monthly cash flow to be able to pay for something like that, because it ain't cheap, and sometimes I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I look at it like, dang, we could do something else with this money. It could be going somewhere else, but it's a long-term investment. It's a long-term thing. I had a guy I work with, he spoke the same thing about building, kind of like if you've ever read about the Rothschilds, how they built up their wealth, and the family, everybody put into the family pot, and you pulled money out of that to start your ventures, and everybody's insurance went back when they passed, went back into the funnel, and basically built that family wealth. But like I said, that comes a thing. The biggest thing I say about that is the unity part. And even when he was talking, I feel like that's the, I hate to say problem with the black community, but I feel like that's the unity part, man. I think where a lot of the other people or other races kind of have us beat, so to say, a lot of these, yeah, and I hate to put everything on slavery, but that kind of have a lot to do with it. Like, if I'm Chinese, I can go back to China and get funding and go to a Chinese bank, or from the UK, I can get funding from a UK bank. Like, I have a country. Like, we were brought over here, and just like, we're not connected to our motherland, so to say, like that. Like, I have a partner who's African, and he from Nigerian, and he goes back and forth and does business back over there. It's another way, and I think the unity part is where I'll say we're missing it. But if we can get that, it's gonna be hard. But we'll pass the mic on after that one.
I agree. Let me chime in there, because the Indians and the Arabs, that's exactly what they do too. They put money in the pot, everybody contribute, and same thing. They take out, and they buy hotels and little convenience stores and whatnot, and then the next person put in, so the next person can get it. They get money coming through the door for ventures. They get money from the government. They get money from them for their families. It's money. Yeah. It's money out here. So one thing is education. I say definitely looking to see what's out, getting into the groups, seeing the different options because I just learned about a concept called infinite banking and universal life insurance. So basically, for those that don't know, the universal life insurance, you basically pay into a life insurance policy, which you have a death benefit, but you can borrow it against it. You can borrow against it, still get it, pay it back, and pay low interest. So you able to do other things with the money that you'll go out and they'll use for your funeral or whatnot. And you able to keep doing this over time and building it over time. So that's something I found out about, just like infinite banking, becoming your own bank. So it's little programs out here. I am looking to start a group of folks, of my brothers with positive energy that's looking to do that same, thing, whether it's education, support, whether we can support each other, talk, like we talk with the marriage council, but a step further, just, able to help fund within reason, help with credit, all of this stuff. Cause I think it's education and support. We don't have enough unity as brothers, as a people, period. I say as black people and as brothers, because part of, not to get on too much in the soapbox, but part of the whole Willie Lynch and all of that stuff was to make us scatter, right? Because that's how you gotta keep us down. And we scatter because that's why we don't succeed in doing certain things, because we don't share information, resources as a whole. Now I say it's pockets of us here, and that's what I like to do. I like to share everything. It's just starting a community, talking, sharing information, sharing with the brothers, and kind of trying to help each other out, whether it be financially or like just advice or resources or all the above. So Zen got something to add to this, though. I'm curious to see what he has to say. Calling out
Annie,
names.
Annie don't listen.
Right.
Annie
was
don't
moving
listen.
on.
He don't pay attention. Annie don't listen. Two things. I said, man, that ship has sailed. Now you, hey man, you go ahead.
No, it's the freestyle. It's the cipher.
Yeah.
Hey,
Ain't that right, Zen? Ain't that right, Zen? Like, okay.
Man, E, jump in here, man.
Yeah, so I give all the credit in the world to Miles. Just like he was saying on here before, he's the one that set me and Sharon up with our life insurance and everything. So he was kicking that game to me a long time ago, and we started that whole process. I want to say it was about 5 years ago. So we do that. What you were talking about, Rick? Like I do be saying that to myself too. Like, man, this money can go
Yeah.
somewhere else. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. But just like y'all all was saying, black people have a hard time with the long game. That goes back to the fitness part because it's the long game that's gonna really get you over the hump. The quick game ain't gonna do nothing for you. That long game, you got to play the long game. That's the only way you're gonna win in life with every situation, not just the situations we talk about. Because life is a marathon, not a sprint. So I credit Miles for bringing that to us, and we just capitalizing on the game that he gave us. It was perfect time in our life to start that thing. So that's all we got.
Yeah, we when I was in college, I was a part of it was like a young investors group, and it was the same thing. Every month we paid dues into a pot. We went down. We got a LLC. We got an EIN number. We got everything. But it just felt. I really felt like some people was just doing it to check a box for grad school, almost to say like, hey, I'm part of this. Like they made it like a resume builder. We never invested in anything. Like it's hard, man. You gotta to find those like-minded people that are gonna really, dig in and do that. Because like you were saying, I got some friends, they'll buy, come to the country, they'll buy a family a home, and it might not be their turn on the next one. It might be somebody else, but they still gonna follow through with, hey, we're gonna, this family's gonna get a home, then this family's gonna get a home, we're gonna help this family get a home, then we're gonna move to a business. This family's gonna get, it's hard, man. Not saying it can't be done, and need to figure out a way, but
So what's the
Yeah.
way? No, my fault. Yeah, I gotta watch that. My fault. I gotta watch the new
Go
way.
B. Go B.
I feel like y'all was prepping. No, go ahead. I ain't got nothing. Go ahead. My fault, man. Y'all was prepping this before I got here. That's what happened, wasn't it? Y'all was practicing with your little hands raising. Okay, go ahead, man.
No, I
Not
was
at
like,
all.
it's a feature I need to use.
And I was just
Start
following
using.
suit. I said, that's kind of cool. I'm going
Right.
to start doing that too.
Me too.
I wanna get E's opinion on this, because somebody that he put me on to, because he was like, we need to start sharing information, but one of the things that comes about is distrust. Man, we can't trust our own people. You know when I say that, and I'm gonna go ahead and say names. I don't know if the brother gets down, his game is dirty or not, but you got me listening to him, Eric Thomas podcast and the 9 to 5 Millionaire dude. I'd be like,
Yeah,
like,
Maul.
it sound good. Is this brother trying to? I was like, you look at him on YouTube. I'd be like, you see the nice crib and whatnot. I'd be like, okay, are these trappings for a setup? Is this dude being really legit? Is he being genuine? I was like, I don't know. And that's gonna be the hardest part, because distrust in our own community. I know Rick was talking about. He was like, other cultures, they can go to a black bank. I mean, go to they type of bank, but we ain't got that in our community. Nah, I remember when we first started the podcast. I don't know if you remember it at the time. Killer Mike down in Atlanta. He was part of a group that started up Greenwood. I could tell you some of the things that I heard people say. Man, I ain't putting my money in there, man. I can't trust that. Man, do whatever with my money, next thing you know, my money gone, man. I don't know about I'm putting my money into that. So it's that distrust, man, that people gonna have to get over as well, to know that you actually genuine.
So as far as the 9 to 5 Millionaire stuff, I think it's legit. I don't see like any holes in it for me to question anything. I think it's a blessing to a lot of people because he does a lot of things for different people on top of that, not just for himself for to come up. He's put a lot of people on and gave those people the generational wealth that they was looking for. And there's been a whole lot of stories of people emailing in talking about how with that make real estate real stuff, they was able to retire their wife and supplement that income so they can still have that income when she was working and then still have extra to do the stuff that they always dreamed about doing. So as far as like success stories like that, it's no other way for me to think like, oh man, this ain't real. I don't think I've ever questioned that part of it at all. It looked real legit to me and it sound real legit because everything that he says, I still go back and do the research and everything, but it's just it's adding up to me.
And see, that's the thing. I'm with you. I'm just like, but is that legit? I'm sorry. Like, that's the thing. Like, even
are the testimonials legit?
testimonial. Exactly. I'm like, I
That's
don't know if
what
I
you
can
said.
trust that. As I say, that's gonna be a hurdle that's gonna have to be able to get over, man.
So have you been burnt before?
Of course, everybody has, man.
Well, I got an answer to that. God damn it! I was raising my hand, but look, let's just face it. Some of the and you ain't gonna hate me for this, man. I ain't trying. You ain't got a Kevin Costner this one, but yo, some of the resources are terrible. Some of the black folks have been doing terrible stuff, but that's the purpose of the group. I would like to start because you can now have vetted resources that somebody in the group has tried, or maybe somebody next to somebody has tried. Because I know I'm a trier, like Ari with the Rory, Aristotle Investments. I tell anybody with that, man, that's tried and true. That's true. Get on there. It's a group of investors. He gives some good plays. He got different levels of stock investing. Wall Street Trappers, another guy. He tells some stuff out there, and I'm like, okay, I see what he's talking about with the options, and he's saying it like us, a little bit past us. He's saying it from a dope boy perspective, but hey, it's entertaining and educational. So it's things like that. When you start getting a group and groups of people who's tried these things and had success or had their own stories, they can now tell you what's real and what's not. because now what we up against too, it used to be reviews, right? You used to could go out and check reviews and trust the reviews. Now we can't trust those because guess what's coming out here now? Is these AI bots. They are here. They are here. The AI bots, they get on the chat, they on Reddit, and so some of these reviews ain't even real. I'll come back to that because that's what the little black kid from Atlanta who making gasoline, diesel fuel, and jet fuel out of plastic. And the dudes like now they trying to discredit him, kill him at the same time. Anyway, we'll come back to that. But yo, that's the answer to y'all question.
Hey, E, before you jump in, yo, look, I'm gonna need you on that board of yours. Whenever B go off on that conspiracy theory, I need a sounder.
Okay.
Because this is like the second time already this episode that sounder could have been played when he threw out his conspiracy theory, man.
We'll come back to
Now
that.
you see
We'll
what you're
come back to
doing. You
that.
discrediting the black man, Zen. That's what you're doing. The original black man. You discrediting him with these conspiracy theories that the white man has put into your head to not believe the truth behind the truth, my brother. Wake up.
We could get the soundbite from the X Files cleared. That's when every time we go, just push play. or that, yeah.
What the hell is that? Y'all was on here practicing, man. I see you. Y'all was on here practicing. What is that?
Hey, but it sound like our conversation went back full circle because it come back to a trust and a unity thing. Like,
Yeah.
we don't even trust each other no more. There was a time when, I probably say, when our parents were younger, Black Pride movement, Civil Rights movement, I'm pretty sure everybody, there was some skepticism back then amongst us, but kind of for the most part, the history was told to us, everybody seemed unified. You know what I mean? And then, but yeah, I get you, Zen. Every brother ain't your brother. It's hard. It gets, especially if you've been burnt once, then I can see that.
Folks like, nah, I'll just rather chance it on my own, man. That's how a lot of folks go about it eventually in the end. Like, man, I take.
That's the problem, though. That's the problem. But all that's by design, man. Not to keep going back to that, but it's by design. So if somebody tell you the plain truth, you always gonna question it. You know what I mean? And especially for us black folks, that's how you keep us down. Now that's the true oppression. And it's not by any white man. It's just propaganda and distrust within each other. Because I can tell you, it's a pot of gold outside. You ain't gonna believe me, and you might miss out. You be like, "Oh, be on that stuff." You know what I'm saying? We talk about pot of gold. It's pot of gold right outside, man. I grabbed
a black guy.
Something.
A black guy I know, he owns a lot of property, rental properties and stuff like that. He said he hires a white property manager. So when they go ask, like he said, Rick, they'll give him the money before they, but they give me excuses and da. He said, so I just hired a white property manager, and it's no problem. I get my money.
Yep, go to biffypcfix.com. It's white people all on my website.
It sure enough is. I don't see no chocolate chips on there, boy. It's just be a whole bunch of milk.
Yep. There you go.
G3, Coach E. He the milkman.
I take them white dollars too. Give them here. They see me coming through. Oh, they sent a technician. Oh, they sure did. Hey, how you doing? Let me help you out. Don't know the president, CEO, all above, but no, I'm a technician. What I got on my car, a certified technician. They don't need to know the rest.
Wow.
But that also bring the conversation full circle back to the workout, which y'all just talking about with the white property manager. They give the white people the money, and then they come to me talking about, I don't know, man, you gonna work me out too hard. You gonna be trying to do too much. Well, that's what you need, brother. Okay, you ain't getting too far with what you've been doing.
You gonna be trying to do too much, like what?
Yeah,
we need to do too much to get where you trying to go.
Get them too big. I don't know where these people come from.
Dog. Every consultation or just me walking down the street and people like, man, what you do? Then I break it down. I wish I had a body cam on so y'all could see people, A, facial expressions, and B, just overall comments like, yeah, nah, man. And they number one thing, I gotta get it right before I come to you. Well, what you waiting on? You ain't been getting right this whole time. So when is you ever gonna
Yeah.
try to get right? So that means you ain't never coming because you ain't never gonna get right. That's just a
Yeah.
small sample size. Y'all, man, y'all wouldn't believe none of this.
Or let me get the hook up. Yo, let me get the hook up. What can I get for $5?
Oh no,
How much training
that
can I get for
conversation.
$5?
Thank God that conversation stopped. I ain't got to ask for the hookup in a long time because I make it
Yo,
plain
really?
and simple. Yeah, man, I ain't got time for that. If I sense that in
Oh,
the conversation, I just throw out the
yeah.
stuff immediately. See what they say. If I see their expression after I say what I gotta say, ain't no need to talk no more, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. You read it.
All right, fellas. Now that was another healthy conversation right there, man. Y'all ready to jump into a little sports? Because as I'm
Transition
looking right here, yeah, I'm looking right here. Okay, it looked like possibly Indiana might pull this one on out and go ahead and take a demanding lead and put the pressure for real on them New York Knicks. So B might be right about that. But let's talk about that other series first. So let's talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves. So that one is also on the verge of being over. And really, we shouldn't be surprised that the team with the best record and the league MVP is on the verge of going to the finals for their first finals since, is it 2011, Coach E?
Yep.
2011. Look, I'm going back in my memory bank. It was the lockout year. No, it was 2012. All right, since 2012, when Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and a young James Harden all got trampled by the Miami Heat on the way for LeBron to win his first ring, but they're seeming ready to go back. But I want to know, they cruising in this series against the Minnesota Timberwolves after being pushed to 7 games the previous round by the Denver Nuggets. So I want to know, basically, was the Denver Nuggets the toughest challenge that they were going to face in these playoffs? And at this point, is this NBA championship theirs to lose? Wait a minute, y'all got quiet. I was like, man, did I freeze up? Did my audio stop working? I was like, it got quiet. I'm like, man.
Nobody wanted to step on nobody.
Yo, I'll say it. I'll say it because I'm going to be quick.
We already know what you gonna say though.
What I'm gonna say? I can't stand watching OKC. I can't stand the Lizard Man, SGA. He is so boring. He is boring to watch. He just do the same stuff 57 times a game and shoot that damn mid-range turnaround shot or try to run through somebody to the hole. So, now it's gonna be OKC and Indiana. New York will win this game, but the NBA won't. I guess they want Indiana for some reason. Team versus team, hell, I don't know. But yeah, it's theirs for them. I don't know. It's them David versus Goliath. We just say they facing the NBA Pacers. That's what they facing.
Okay, B, you keep pushing this script stuff. In
NBA
2016,
Pacers.
was it a script? Did they call it in for the cast? Was it written in the
Hey
script?
man, cue up that X-File music. I want to believe. Mulder, that was his whole tagline. I want to believe it was real. But let's just go down the whole lane. LeBron just said it on Pat McAfee. You know what I'm saying? Yo, they rigged it up for him to come home. You know, they knew he was leaving again in 2016. What not a better script to write? I want to believe it's true that it's not scripted, it's real. But this man came back from 3-1 against the Warriors, bring Cleveland their first championship in Cleveland fashion. I mean, against arguably the best team of all time, record wise, we'll just say. And it was a perfect ending. Everybody be high, so they won't mind. He going to LA. You know, he going out there. We all happy. Woohoo. Oh no, he ain't go right away. I get it, but he never was gonna resign. Not in that contract. So could it be scripted? Sure, it could have been scripted. Do I want to believe? Sure, I want to believe. I want to believe it's real.
Conspiracy Island.
You got to give me Mulder, man. Give me some X-File music. Yeah, that's what I want. I want to believe.
All right, man. Maverick, yo. Is it OKC's to lose? Is it a cakewalk here? If they were to lose, like how much of a disappointment, how much of a choke job would it be on their end if they were to not win this championship after setting themselves up like this?
I think it is theirs to lose, especially with SGA winning the MVP. Like I think they want to get away from. I don't say they. See, now you got me feeling like like it is scripted, but it looks better when the MVP is winning the regular season MVP with the best record is winning the championship in the end. Kind of like to make it seem like the regular season is it does mean something. I feel like there's a lot of like those kind of undercurrent things brewing. Like the regular season means something. The two teams that you see probably gonna play in the finals don't jack up threes. They play inside, mid range, and long ball. They run. They play together. Like it's you got two new stars. I think it is a whole lot of stuff that is good for the NBA in that aspect where it's not a LeBron or Steph, Draymond, KD dominated finals. Even Joker, like to a certain extent now, he's won 3, so they're kind of like, okay, let's move off. Joker, like the more parity they can have, because it's as the NFL has shown, it's better when you have that. You get more people were more interested in what's going to happen.
Okay, let me follow up with you. You just mentioned style of play. Now the NBA is a copycat league. Now, and both of these teams play a up-tempo brand of basketball. Would you see more teams just like everybody went to start jacking up the threes after Golden State won their championship and went on the run that they went on? That's one thing I'm not used to seeing in postseason play is this up-tempo. You don't really get that. So if we were the OKC was to win and it would be a finals against Indiana, like I say, it's a copycat league. Would you see more teams try to switch to that and adopt that going forward?
I think so. And I think it was Amon Shumpert. He said it. He was like, when they did copycat to everybody shooting the threes, it's like, team, I know y'all need to get away from all these analytics because y'all trying to copy the two best shooters probably ever to shoot in the NBA, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Y'all don't shoot like that. So it's like throwing up all these threes makes no sense for these teams that can't shoot it like that. But everybody can run. Like that's kind of how we've been playing since we was in, playing on the playground. To a sense, it's kind of a playground set of basketball. So yeah, I think you will see a change in just the athleticism and all of that.
With the Denver Nuggets being their toughest test, yeah, in the West, but I think they both play the same with the OKC Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. They really play the same. They really are deep. And just like what we were saying, Zen, how the roster was going to shrink, how the bench was going to shrink, we did ours, but those two teams never shrunk their benches. Like they still continuously play 9 or 10 people. And it's just working this year. This is the first time we've ever seen this. So nobody has ever played this deep into their bench. And then what in turn happened? Thibodeau ended up having to play like 9, 10 people just to try to keep up because he ain't had no fresh people. He was playing 6, 7 deep, and Indiana wasn't. So they were just pushing and pushing and pushing and running and running and running. Now that 6 or 7 that New York had, they was all dead. So I think that'll be actually a good series because they are both long, they are both young, and they will both get up and down, just like Rick was saying. Rec ball, that's all you did. Outlet, boom, fast break. Everybody else take the ball out, come back, fast break, boom, 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 like that. That's that old school LEL, Rick. How we used to score like 100 points a game. It's just back and forth, still pressing. Indiana press, pick up full court, and OKC got to work because I don't think nobody pushed them physically yet. Denver tried to a little bit, but they're really not a physical team. So when they meet Indiana, that's going to be a physical team. So the East and the West play different styles like that. So I think both styles are going to collide. I think it's going to be a good series. Everybody going to like try and upplay the whole small market finals and stuff instead of really enjoying the kind of basketball that they are going to play. So I think it's going
Yeah.
to be a good series, man. If that does
And them
happen.
rosters, you got like Siakam and them can match up with Chet and all them. Like this, it's gonna be a little different. They can run with them, they can jump with them, they can bang with them. That's gonna be like you said. Can they bang with them? That's gonna be
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
So
never
There you
got
go.
tested there.
I
B,
know
go.
B ready to jump in. Before you jump in, B, I'm gonna hit E with a quick follow up. Now, could the style of play, if it's an OKC Indiana final, could the style of play overcome them two being in smaller markets, and that can actually be something to the NBA's benefit moving forward?
yeah, for us, for the actual basketball fans, but for the people like the Super Bowl people that just tune in for the Super Bowl and not really care about how the game is played or what's going on inside of the Super Bowl, yeah, they won't understand it. But us, the pure basketball guys, they will. But hopefully, that run and gun, high scoring stuff will attract those people and be like, oh man, this is pretty good. So it has the potential to, but I don't know if it's really going to hit home to the just casual basketball fan that's tuning in to the finals to try to see some basketball. But for us, I think it'll be a good series. But in turn to that, that'll make the NBA a little bit better too, because next year you don't know what to expect because you don't know who's gonna be the favorite next year. That's that parity stuff Rick was just talking about. So
Ooh, I know B ready to go. I got a follow up to E's question after you go, B.
Oh, okay. Cause y'all help. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Zen. Thank you, gentlemen, because you know what you did. You answered the question. So what we are witnessing, why the script? Going back to the script, y'all just answered the question. This is the biggest public complaint for him. The viewership is down. The viewing is down. The ratings are down. Why? Too many damn threes. People jacking up threes, not playing physical ball. So why not meet up the two most physical rotation, not a bunch of superstars. It's a group of guys that don't jack up threes the whole game. And they play physical, hard-nosed basketball. Match them up in the finals. And then you'll start to get next year, hopefully, the trickle-down effect. People will start looking at that. Teams will start looking at that and maybe cutting down the threes, maybe playing more physical because this playoffs has been physical. So why not match up the physical two teams? You think it's just sheer coincidence that two teams of the same style is gonna match up head to head with this thing that totally goes against what the people have been complaining about in the NBA? Script
so
101.
so the thing I have a problem with the script stuff. And do you understand how hard that is? Like, I understand you may think officiating has a big role to play in that, but do you know how hard that is to get athletes to do that? Like a script that you would follow on a TV show, like, okay, guys, in the first quarter, you're going to do this. And then the second quarter, you're going to do that. Third quarter, we're going to keep it the same. But then the fourth quarter, we're just going to let that other take. Do you know how precise and perfect everything has to go in order for a script to be followed? I understand it could be
Yes.
favorites, but a script to be followed, even in, I don't care what sport it is, that is extremely hard to do, to control. That's hard, dude. So I don't believe in the scripted stuff because when Milwaukee won, what was the script? To give Giannis a championship, and then now they're just done with Giannis. Now he won't win another championship. So what did it do like for other years? Like that's the part I have a hard time grasping with the whole script stuff. I just don't believe it.
Yeah, it's a strange world. It's a strange world. They just sent some women up to quote unquote space in a hoopty in a dildo size, a dildo shaped rocket, and now they don't need space suits. They just looking out the window. Oh, there's space. They just crashed down. They just went to space and back in 10 minutes. And you tell me they can fake that, but they can't fake the NBA. I'm just saying it can be done.
Nobody's playing competitive sports in a spaceship, Byron. That's two totally
No,
different
I'm
things.
not saying. I'm just using that as an example. The world watched. We watch rockets. We watch. You know what I mean? Anything could be fake. Anything,
I
So
don't think they scripted, but I forgot which game I was watching, And it did feel like the refs was trying to give one team every opportunity in the first quarter to get out to a good lead. And they didn't take it. I forgot which one it was, but it was like, I remember watching it like, dang, they're getting all the calls and they're not taking advantage of it. And I remember Elton Brand was saying one time, I think it was Iguodala when they played for the 76ers. They were playing somebody and they were like, well, we got to beat them by 15. He's like, what you talking about? He's like, dog, they ain't trying to see us play this. They ain't trying to see Philadelphia play Boston. They trying to see Miami play Boston in these finals. So we gonna have to win by 15 to 20 to win this game. You know what I'm talking about, Zen? You heard the saying?
From Gil's Arena.
Yeah.
Gil's Arena. I had the clip that I was gonna bring it up for B just so he could feel good about himself.
See, he got to you. You shouldn't let E get to you, Zen. You gotta keep this on the even playing field. See, and that's an NBA player, E. So don't you sit there and tell me it can't be scripted by some, maybe not all. Maybe they was Rooster getting off script. They said we got to win by 15 to 20.
I can't wait till this Rooster guy
Yeah.
dies. Okay.
They canceled the show, man. You want to catch it on Netflix.
You and Rick, you and E, y'all was talking about parody. And one of the podcasts bring up another podcast that I listen to is The Right Time with Bomani Jones. And he made the declaration that NBA dynasties are dead. And he doesn't see anybody becoming an NBA dynasty. Now, if OKC was to win this title, they would probably be the best ones to actually becoming a dynasty because their average age is 24 years old. They will be the youngest team ever to win a NBA title. To go to B's point, he says they're the most boring team to watch. Then you counteract that with the NBA has built itself up. Basically, sports, period. NFL too, built themselves up off of dynasties. If you don't have a dynasty that somebody is interested in watching in, can you actually build and grow the sport on?
Not if people think like B, because it's just gonna be a script, and what's the point of watching in the first place? So yeah, you're gonna have a hell of a problem.
I'll play
getting viewers and everything. But once again, maybe I'm too much of a purist and too much of a person that just competes, and I just refuse to think that everything in the world is fixed and it's a fairy tale, and I'm getting lied to. I just can't live my life like that. So maybe I'm the wrong one, but parody is a good thing because that just keeps you on the edge of your seat because you never know what's going to happen year after year after year. And just like you said, NBA dynasties are dead. I think NFL dynasties are dead too because parody is creeping up to an all-time high in the NFL. So you can go back to the LA Rams Super Bowl, then the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl, then sprinkle in the Tampa Bay, then sprinkle in the Kansas City. It's just been different teams that over the years that you never would think win the Super Bowl or the NBA Finals. Nobody thought Denver would ever win the NBA Finals, but whatever.
Yeah, you see, they gone from that now. I mean, they like you said, it was Giannis. They moved on from him, fired the coach next year. They moved on. So maybe this is the experiment of the NBA trying to get the viewers back. Because the viewers obviously they didn't want to see some. And the complaints I hear, and I'll play along. We'll come back to Fantasyland. The stuff I hear is about the threes. People complain about the threes all the time. Oh, the threes and they ain't physical enough, blah, blah, blah. So if you put this team in here playing like this, and OKC have played this way the whole year long. So they have played the same way the whole year. And nobody gave a damn. I mean, let's just be real. Nobody really cared. It was record breaking from them, franchise record. Nobody cared. Here it is. If they win a championship, will anybody care? Will it bring the viewers back?
You speaking from a like fan?
No, I'm in Fantasyland. In the fan perspective, yeah.
That's good basketball. Like Shea is one of the best players in the league, and he's very exciting to watch. I don't understand people be like, he's boring. That's just the way you play basketball. He gets buckets. He gets rebounds. He gets his teammates involved. They have great chemistry.
You are a purist.
So what are you watching for? Like
The
everything
fan
can't
is
be
not
a
the
soap
purist.
opera.
We want to be entertained. Are you not entertained? No, not by
That is
SGA. Not at
entertaining.
all.
It is.
To you, Mr. Purist, Mr. Golf, Mr. Hockey, Mr. UFL, you probably watched all the UFL this weekend, didn't you?
Sure did.
See?
It's horrible football, but I watched it because it's
See?
football.
You a purist. That's the Puritan in you, Captain America. The fan. I watched SGA. I'm telling you, he shoot the same shot. I want to go to a shot chart and see how many times he shoot that little mid-range turnaround right there. 15-foot elbow jumper.
So stop it.
I know, right? You ain't gonna stop it, but is that entertaining to watch a rerun over and over and over? What's Zen called LeBron Law and Order? So what's SGA? He ain't even Law and Order.
Well, I think to your point, to what Bomani was saying, I was just kind of thinking about this. I think all dynasties and all sports are dead because of the internet, social media climate that we live in. And for me, the example of that is Shedeur Sanders. I think people are more interested in individual players than they are the teams. I think the last football dynasty that we'll see is the Chiefs. Like that's the last one where it's like I think everybody cares about the team. And I think it's the only dynasty in the last one because they're now the villain in the they're the Patriots. They're like how the Patriots were. They win so much, people's like, man, I'm tired of seeing them. You know, they've turned that franchise has turned into the villain.
And that's how it typically is. That's how you grow the sport. You get a team, they win,
build them up, build them up.
They become the villain, and people want to watch to see them lose. That's how Floyd Mayweather made all his money, man. He got to the point, man. People want to start tune in to see him lose. So that's why I say that's how you typically grow it. But I'm like, if you get a team that nobody is interested in watching it, can you actually grow it? But go ahead, Coach E. I want to get in one more quick topic before we get up out of here.
I just think that is ruined just from the stuff alone that you was talking about, Rick, the social media aspect. Now people want a soap opera and reality TV in sports now. That's why I hate reality TV, because they really think it's real life and they really think life is supposed to be like that. So just like the Shedeur Sanders stories over the weekend with him buying the car and him going, was he at Travis' wedding or why wasn't he in the pictures of Travis' wedding? Who freaking cares? The social media bots and the reality TV people. This is what they want out of sports. Pisses me off.
Yeah. Because he's trying to make a roster. That's why he wasn't there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a quarterback in the NFL. He's trying to make a roster. That's why we wasn't at the wedding. Like,
jeez.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Doing great, by the way. I just want to mention that real quick. Doing great.
Man, it's too early to call it.
I know, but y'all was talking about the shake. He doing great.
I got to give it to him. That's the most we was going to get out of him before the draft. Now that he on the team, he actually speaking highly of him. So I guess that's a win. All right.
He doing great. Y'all said he wasn't going to see the field. He going to play with janitors, pool boys. Yeah, that's what you said, Zen. They ain't going to let him play with real players.
With the preseason, you'll see. But all right. I got to get to this. We running out of time. I want to get to this. This is a good one. On the flip side of this OKC series is the Minnesota Timberwolves and Edwards. So last week, I remember Rick was talking about giving him too much too soon. And it had me thinking afterwards and listening in playback. Now, do you think, Rick, it's too much too soon because of the talent pool, the American talent pool in the NBA not being as deep? Is that why we looking at it? Is it hype? If you had to give a percentage, how much would you say is it hype, or how much is it because he's that good?
I think it's because he is that good, and he's the closest thing to Mike. Like for this, to Kobe, to Mike, he plays above the rim. That's his game. He talks, his charm, his charisma. I think that is pushing through him to be the one more than the winning. I don't think it's a conversation if he wasn't good. Like that has to, that has to be there. Like for me, I think LeBron was Magic. Like that was his mode, his rise of fame, and it helped that we was comparing him to Mike. But this is the new who they're donning as, as the guy. But
Okay.
not yet, not yet. Not if because that's why I like Halliburton. They say they said he looked like Steve Urkel out there playing when he was playing. Oh, did you see that? And he do look like they're balling, dog.
Lined it up.
Triple double tonight too.
That's why I'm
tonight.
Yeah, I'm kind of rooting for Halliburton because he's like just the dark horse. You know what I mean? People aren't seeing him coming.
Ooh, before you jump in, B, Halliburton. Speaking on Halliburton, we mentioned him as a potential face of the NBA, but a lot of people think his get down is corny as compared to Ant Edwards, where everybody thinks his get down is more cool with a lot more swag to it.
Part too. Yeah.
Can somebody get down with Tyrese with his perception being as corny as it is right now?
As long as he's putting up on the court, I don't give a damn if he's corny or not off the court. I don't care. If you putting up 32,
no, we talking about it corny on the court.
Yeah, he corny.
They say corny on the court. People
He
clown
hurt
him for that choke job that he did at the end of game 1. They was like, man, they ain't look original. That seemed a little too forced. It didn't feel right.
Funny.
Like
he said he was looking for a spot to do it, and he said I might have wasted it, but
yeah. He the dude. He the corny dude you can't really get mad at because he's so bad at it. I mean, look, the league is in trouble because this is about to be the IBA, International Basketball Association. SGA is Canadian. You got Jokic, you got Luka, you got Embiid, you got Giannis. All these dudes is now they foreigners. So I think we thirsty to have somebody that's American, cool, charm, and consistent. And Halliburton, he close to it. I see what y'all saying. I give y'all some credit, his what he do, but he just goofy. Anthony Edwards too soon because Randall had times he got to take over that squad. Gobert against the Lakers. You got old buddy with games with 15, 18, 16. You ain't no team lead doing that. I mean, unless you diamond like that, but you ain't really doing it like that. He ain't no team lead like that. Sometimes it's Julius Randle and he goofy. So if you let Julius Randle and you let Goofy Gobert go out there and outshine you, they ain't your squad like that. I'm sorry. And it's not great to watch.
Hey, all right. He never ceased to amaze me with these takes, man.
It's your reaction, Z. It's your reaction. Go ahead, jump on in there, eat.
All right. Last question. We're going to get out of here on this. No
rebuttal?
There's no rebuttal needed for that.
All right. So, Ant Edwards, 23 years old. He is, in this short amount of time, has led the Minnesota Timberwolves to back-to-back conference finals. At some point, people are going to stop giving him the grace that he's getting right now, and they're going the expectations is going to rise up. My question is, will he be able to get it done in Minnesota? Does he have the pieces in place to grow with him, to get him to that and get him over that threshold of right now he's hitting his head on the conference finals, to be able to cross over that threshold into the NBA finals and bring a title to a smaller market, a la a Joker in Denver or a Giannis in Milwaukee? Or is he more like in a situation like LeBron in his first run with Cleveland, or, hate to say it, Maverick, Luka in Dallas? Is he going to have to wind up eventually leaving Minnesota and going somewhere else to get that title? Or does Minnesota have something around him to actually get him there?
I think he need a true Robin because he really don't have a consistent Robin. He doing all that by himself. He don't have nobody to come with him every time. They trying this Julius Randle stuff, but he's not consistent. Rudy
He's too
Gobert,
old.
he can't be a Robin. He's a center, and all the other guys is just straight role players. So, I mean, if he gonna do it in Minnesota, they better get him help in Minnesota before he leaves to go find some other help. So he
Some
needs a
young help.
consistent number 2 that's gonna be
Yeah.
there with him. When he scored 30, number 2 got to score 25 consistently. Yeah, he gonna have bad games just because people have bad games, and he's trying his ass off to carry that team. I'm not giving him no pass or whatever for those bad games because this whole Western Conference Finals, he's been stinking it up. But if he doesn't have a consistent number 2 to come with him, I don't see him breaking that mold or breaking through that shit going to the finals. He need a help. Wherever he can find it, he need help.
Garland.
Are you trying to ship Garland out there to win?
I'm just saying Garland is a young Michael Conley. Garland is who they want Michael Conley to be. If he was playing with a player like that, I would say they could do it. Even with Julius Randle being older than what he is right now, I could see that happening. Like really,
Mike
that's
Conley
who
is tougher
Garland
than Darius
needs.
Garland.
But he needs a vet like
ain't
that.
Got the skills though. His skills ain't
Like-
that great.
Yeah,
He's
he needs.
38.
They need a. They need
He
a vet.
never was good. He was okay. He was never
Garland
good.
needs a Mike Conley type vet to get over his game to the next level.
I can see
But
that.
yeah.
That
You know what
would be good.
You know what I see when I watch the Minnesota Timberwolves? I said it in my question to y'all. I see LeBron, his first run with the Cavs. I see Rudy Gobert being a Zydrunas Ilgauskas. I'm seeing
Yeah.
Julius Randle being Antoine Jameson, Mike Conley, Mo Williams. I'm like, it's looking. I was like,
JJ
I've seen this
Hickson.
movie before. I'm
Yeah.
like, man. So that's why I just had to ask that question. But on that note, fellas, man, I hear that sound. I hear that sound. You know what that means. Good pod. Good pod. We got the double horn. It was that good. Triple horn. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. 4 horns. Oh, man.
Well, they
Wow.
must want me to say
Man,
good
is
pod.
this
Good
thing
pod.
stuck? Like, man. Good God. Okay, enough, man. Game over. All right, we about to wrap this thing up. All right. So, good pod, fellas. Yeah, this was a good one. Hey, Coach E.
Yes, quad buzzers in.
You got a post-game word for the people.
Yes, I do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, gather around, taking the all eyes on me. Today's word is prove it to yourself. Everybody always trying to prove things to the naysayers. They don't even matter because naysayers are not even real until you acknowledge them. So everything that you're trying to do, prove it to yourself that you can do it. And with you proving it to yourself that you can do it, there will be no such thing as naysayers because who gonna doubt you because you just proved it to yourself. Now you got to walk around with the confidence, you feeling yourself, you feeling great about every situation that you're about to encounter. You about to kill every situation that you're about to get into. So just prove it to yourself. Make it easy on yourself. Do all that hard work for yourself because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So just prove it to yourself.
All right, let's go.
Win on me, win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win! It sounds so sweet. I hope you all enjoyed this episode today with a whole bunch of
Conspiracy Island.
we all know how B get down. We just sit here and enjoy it, man. We love him for it. And with that being said, see you next week.
Thank you for tuning in to Game for All Seasons with Coach E. Remember to hit the like or subscribe button on Coach E's YouTube channel. To listen on the go, download wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure to follow Coach E on Instagram, X, and TikTok at BigF216. Contact us at www.perfecttimefitness.com for one-on-one or group training sessions. Our theme music provided by Mr. Taboo Timmons on SoundCloud at Mr. Taboo Timmons. Once again, thanks for listening and see you next week.